Hello everybody, getting ready to do lesson 1.6 part 2 classwork today for pre-algebra math. And you got 20 points on your classwork sheet. Put your name, date, period on your phone, your tablet, or your paper. Subtracting integers. Let's go right into today's lesson. Evaluating variable expressions. Evaluate the expression when x equals -9. So a is x minus a -40. So how will we do that? So x minus a -40 would be the same thing if we substitute -9 for x here. We're going to substitute -9 for x. Be -9 minus a -40. And then a negative of a negative will be a +40. And then -9 plus 40. To subtract -40, add 40. So that's what we do here. To subtract it, the way that they do this negative here is they add 40 is what they do, which is kind of an odd way. A negative of a negative is a positive. It's really that simple. And then we have -9 here. We're substituting -9 for x. This becomes -9 plus 40. And then 40 minus 9 be 31. Basically, they want you to add -9 to 40. That'd be another way of doing it. Or you could just visualize sticking -9 over here on this side and doing 40 minus 9 equals 31. Okay, let's move into part B of this example here, evaluating variable expressions. So again, we're going to evaluate this expression when x equals -9. So here's x. We're going to plug in a -9 for x. And then when we do that, we have 7 minus x, which will become 7 minus a -9. Substitute -9 for x. And then a negative of a negative would be a positive. And the way they explain is to subtract -9, add 9. Well, okay. So it's just another way of doing the same thing. A negative of a negative would be a positive here. And then 7 plus 9 is 16. So there it is. So when you plug in -9 for x into this expression, it evaluates to 16. Let's try one. Evaluate this expression when m equals -6 here. This is yours down here, students. We're going to do our guided right now. So with our plug-in of -6, a -7 minus m, when we plug in -6 for m, a negative of a negative would be a positive. So -7 plus 6 equals -1. -1. Let's try another one here. Let's evaluate, we're going to call it change. So to answer, we had a previous question within lesson here of 1.6. Is about the change in elevation of a volcano called Kikimjeni. You can subtract the elevation in 1962 from the elevation in 2002 and then write a verbal model. So referring back to that, we had a change in elevation, which was the elevation in 2002 minus the elevation of 1962. So to do that, we had an elevation in 2002 of -182. It was already below sea level. And then we're going to subtract the elevation of 1962, which was -235. So -182 subtracting -235 from -182, what? So within that situation, we get -182 plus 235. A negative of a negative is a positive. And they say to subtract -235, add 235. Same thing. And then this comes out to 53. So therefore, the difference is 53 feet. We don't have negative distance. That would be the problem with this problem here. We can keep our signs. Only thing is, distance is not negative unless it's below some kind of benchmark. In this case, it's sea level. So the difference anyway up here is 53. So the summit elevation at Kikimjeni increased by 53 meters from 62 to 2002. Let's try one here. Find a change in temperature. In our guided up here, we have from negative 2 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius. So what's our change there? You got something like that down here too, students. So up here in our, we are going from negative 2 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius. So our change is going to be new temp minus the old temp. So from negative 2 to 15, so our old temperature would be negative 2. Our new temp would be 15 degrees. So to do this, we have 15 degrees Celsius minus the negative 2 Celsius. And that'll give us 2 Celsius, give us 17 degrees Celsius. So the temperature increased by 17 degrees Celsius. That's your lesson for today. Animated PowerPoint math video at AOL.com for questions or course materials. Thank you very much.